Hi everyone. So I'm going to be doing a review of, kind of be a double review. On the one hand, I'll be using Kagi for the first time, which is a new search engine. It's in beta right now. I guess the final product will be paid. Getting a little frustrated with Google's results lately. DuckDuckGo is less frustrating, but I find I still have to Google things that the duck can't find for me, so there's still a lot of back and forth there. So I'm going to be trying Kagi for this, and I'm going to be researching a company called the Metals Company, ticker TMC. Now this company came to my attention through an interview that one of the founders did with I believe it was actually Schmachtenberger. It was someone interesting anyway, and that kind of got my attention. So what I'm going to do, essentially, it's always good. Essentially, the Metals Company, their pitch is that they want to do ocean surface mining, or ocean floor surface mining. So essentially, there's these things called nodules, where certain minerals tend to just accumulate and crystallize on the surface of the ocean floor. A lot of these minerals happen to be pretty useful for making batteries. And so the Metals Company wants to essentially gather these up from the ocean floor, smelt them, produce more metals with less environmental impact than before. So, interesting mission. It's obviously also the kind of mission that is maybe a little more likely than most to attract naive investors. And I'm certainly not a sophisticated investor. So let's have a look here. My first thought of what I'm going to be looking for is to look at other publications by the same by the founders. So I know one of the founders has a PhD. Okay, there we go. Gerard Barron. Who's this guy? Helping humanity, fossil fuels, circular resource economy. I'm a huge fan of investing for circular economics. Anytime that I see that, it immediately is interesting to me, because I think that to get to a circular economics, you have to use the energy that's currently in our growth-dependent economics. Private investment is the way to do it. It's the grassroots mechanism for that. So I see circular economics in the bio of the CEO like this. Obviously, I am curious. This is, my company is called Virtuous Cycle in reference to the idea of investing in cyclical economics. So if this is the same wavelength, well, I wish them well. The only concern is, can they do it? Can they actually mine the ocean floor? Apparently these nodules have been known about for a while, but it hasn't really been done. Okay, let's check out this guy's LinkedIn. Okay, what's prior ad stream? Okay, so he's okay. Let's check out Nautilus Minerals. So he was a key investor in Nautilus Minerals, a founder in AdStream. So he's a marketing guy. Okay, good for him. Need marketing people. But does kind of okay, so the World Wildlife Fund is no fan. That's all right. Used to be when I was really young, I used to actually be like a junior member of the World Wildlife Fund. Gotten a little disillusioned by, say, large environmental NGOs lately. That doesn't mean, well, they're talking about unknowns, so that's kind of a good thing. Tech investing, it's all about unknowns, and I do. Okay, so this guy, how old is this dude? It's probably a rude question to ask, but if his earliest work is 2002, I mean, okay, I graduated high school in 2005, and I'm not that young anymore. I gotta stop thinking about. Okay, so this is ad stream. So the first people we hired on the team. Okay, so he is a successful ads guy, I guess. Not a technical founder, though. So then the question is, okay, is Chief Development Officer? 30 years mining experience. Okay. Okay, so he's mining as part of the metals company. Proven commitment to sustainable ethical mining. Okay, so they've got some depth of experience in ocean mining, I guess. I wonder, why hasn't this been done before? It sounds all rather straightforward the way it was described by the AdStream CEO, so I'm a little concerned. But let's see, it's Chief Operating Officer of Nautilus. Oh, okay. So he was the COO of Nautilus, so these guys might have work. Or I guess Gerard was an investor. Permit mining release from the government of Papua New Guinea. Ore sales agreement with one of China's leading copper producers. Previously part of... Okay, so... Co-inventor on 5 subsea... See, okay, this is the kind of thing I look for. Named co-inventor on 5 subsea mining patents. Let's check out... Okay, he does not have a... he doesn't have a LinkedIn. But if we look for Anthony O'Sullivan on Google Scholar, growth hormone efficiency adults. Okay. Let's include patents and exclude citations, and let's see. Economics, okay. System for seafloor mining. Okay, see, here we go. Yeah, okay, so these are real patents. I have a soft spot for inventors, which if you have your name on a patent, I consider you to be. Okay, US National Phase Application which claims priority to Australian patent applications. So-and-so filed disclosure of which are incorporated herein. Okay, it's a patent. Present invention relates generally to underwater mining and in particular relates to a system and method for seafloor mining and gathering comprising a plurality of cooperating seafloor tools. Okay, this is this I consider very good news. it's obviously making the patent, and I know this as someone who's made a patent. Making the patent is a lot easier than monetizing it, but at least the patent exists, and we're going to read what this actually is. Seabed excavation is often performed by dredging, for example, to retrieve valuable alluvial placer deposits to keep waterways navigable. Suction dredging allows position gathering in pipe tucked close to the seabed material to be excavated and using a surface pump to generate a negative differential pressure to okay. We're talking about what cutter suction dredging further involves a cutter head at or near the suction inlet to release compacted soils. Okay. Other seabed dredging techniques include auger suction, jet. Okay, so they're talking about various ways of mining by dredging. Most dredging equipment typically operates only to depths of tens of meters. Okay, interesting. I wonder why that is. Even very large dredging having maximum dredging depths of little more than 100 meters. Surprising given how deep they drill for oil. Subsea boreholes, such as oil wells, can operate in deeper water of up to several thousand meters. However, subsea borehole mining technology does not enable seafloor mining. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because in order to dig wells, you basically need to concentrate a lot of weight in one place. Seafloor mining, you can't concentrate that weight, so I see why that would be a different beast. Any discussion of documents or the like included in the present specifications for the purpose of providing a context for the present inventions, not taken as any admission that any such matters form part of the prior art. Okay, so summary of the invention. And if you don't read a lot of patents, the summary is kind of, yeah, it's a good thing to start at. According to a first broad aspect, the present invention provides a system for seafloor mining, the system comprising a seafloor auxiliary mining tool for working a seafloor site to prepare a bench and for depositing cut ore in a gathering area. A seafloor bulk mining tool for production cutting of a bench and deposition of cut ore in a gathering area, and seafloor gathering machine for gathering cut ore deposits in the gathering area and pumping gathered ore as a slurry to a riser base. Okay, so they prepare they kind of prepare a bench, like a flattened surface. Then they cut into the seafloor and bring that over. I assume this is like an underwater drone type of thing. It's kind of what I'm picturing from this description. A riser and lifting system for receiving slurry from the gathering machine and lifting the slurry to the surface, and a surface vessel for receiving slurry from the riser and lifting system. Present invention provides a method for seafloor. Okay, you know what? Let's look at the diagrams. Diagrams they have diagrams? It's a little weird. Oh, okay, there they are, right at the start. Okay, yeah, so it's basically, it's a platform with a rover. Cool. Yep, and there's your ship. Brings the controls down. Okay, so yeah, it's a gathering system. Okay, cool. So that's one. There's a method and apparatus for bulk seafloor mining. Let's just look at the various patents here. I would assume, yeah, see. Okay, so this is, so they've got an extra couple of boxes here, so this is probably some method for pre-sorting, I'm guessing. It talks about the various, it's looking more at what the seafloor is like. Okay, so these patents exist. Ah, okay. So this is presumably the underwater mining equipment that they're talking about. They're called the subsea drone. Interesting. They've got a little conveyor belt looking thing. Okay, so this is... Now, I obviously am not familiar with the particulars of subsea mining or subsea engineering. I know it's a very corrosive environment and that there's a lot of challenges, but you can kind of see the story of this company. You've had a marketing guy and a technical guy. They met while working at this place, Nautilus Minerals, and they decided to start their own thing and are in the process of raising money, which they did through a SPAC, and currently the price action on that is kind of favorable. So I don't know. I'm kind of optimistic here. Let's just see. So Dr. Stone, ocean scientist and explorer, with over 10,000 dives throughout this ocean, now to 18,000 feet using submarines, who are water habitats and products. He is widely known as a global thought leader who finds ways for humanity and the ocean to coexist and support each other in the modern world, a catalyst of the genesis of the Ocean Health Index. Okay, so he's a conservationist, there to give the environmental aspect plausibility, I guess. Also probably to consult on how to actually not impact the ocean floor terribly. The interesting thing about this, from the way this rover looks, you'd kind of have almost like a... it would have an effect on the ocean floor like a grazing animal, which are generally thought nowadays to be better for the environment than we thought, but of course that's on the surface of the Earth where it co-evolved with these kind of the grasslands type areas. So this is interesting. I wonder what the impact would actually be. I mean, obviously, if there's necessary minerals down there, we're probably going to get them regardless. But it's interesting that they have someone like this. Okay, so it looks like this guy has a reputation in the field, and he's staking it on working with these guys, so that's I don't know if I'd call that a good sign. Gregory Stone, marine conservationist. Okay, Chief Ocean Scientist at the Metals Company since 2018. Pole-to-pole conservation. Conservation International. PhD Marine Sciences. Okay, the guy's very into the ocean. Okay, who's Andy? Who's the Chief Technical Officer? 30 years in technology and software. Business critical and data-driven applications with a focus on security and technical excellence. Andy joins the Metals Company from Healthcare Data Business Pavilion. Okay, he was previously at media services provider AdStream. Okay, so he knew one of these guys. Also through work, oversaw growth from startup to global ad tech platform. These guys have worked before. Brings extensive experience as a hands-on technologist, systems architect, and technology thought leader. Provides advice and guidance to technology companies, tech and health tech sectors. Okay, so they've got a software guy. This is interesting. The thing that concerns me here is this is or it seems to be a physical engineering problem, and the Chief Technology Officer is a software guy, a successful software guy by the looks of it. But I do wonder how well that'll translate. I know it worked fairly well at Tesla to take a software development approach to physical hardware, but the cash burn is something that I think a lot of people don't take into account when making that switch. So I think it's well, yeah. I'm gonna say from the looks of this, looking a little deeper into these things, that this is a genuine attempt. It is a genuine attempt, but it will require a lot of capital expenditure. And that actually, while it's possible for this thing to run out of money, it's a problem I know all too well, it is also, it's a good time to be building physical infrastructure. In order to, well, in two areas. One in the switch to sustainable technology, but also in speculative ventures, because I think investors are very much addicted to the returns we had over the last couple of years. I'm recording this in early 2022, so the last 7 years, it's been a little bit insane. And I think a lot of investors are chasing similar returns in the future. And a company like the metals company, which has a legitimate way to spend that money, is probably going to look quite attractive, which is probably why they raised money through a SPAC so successfully. They could still fail, and my big concern is whether they have the depth of manufacturing expertise that they can actually build these mining things. Like I said, it's a very different matter to patent an idea. And generally, one would have a prototype. But to go beyond a prototype that requires a lot of maintenance and can only be fixed by the guy who built it, and to actually manufacture something like that, it's a different beast. I don't know whether they have that technical expertise. I don't even know whether that technical expertise exists, since it's, to my understanding, they're trying a new approach to ocean floor mining. But I wish them the best. I think that if they do succeed, this has some serious potential to make a positive impact, and from what they're saying and the type of background they're displaying, they do seem to be genuine. And while there's a chance of failure, and if I were to hang my hat on a prediction for why it would fail if it fails, it would be let me just see there's no hit for manufacturing. I saw senior engineer there. Robotics and control engineer. Okay, this is what they need. Projects in robotics. Okay. No LinkedIn, unfortunately. Because that would be like if they were hiring engineers. Let's look up Toby Buckley. Let's just see. I might just not have included a link. There it is, senior engineer at the metals company. Okay, so he exists. I'm gonna just follow this guy. I'm gonna see what he's saying. If he starts looking for engineers, that's a good sign. Put it that way. Yeah, I wanna see these things in action. That's what I want. I mean, just for the future of the planet, that's really what I want to see. Okay, yeah. Big dream. If it succeeds, it's going to be a big win. Definitely going to be a lot of hurdles between where we are now and this being the future of mining, but I hope they clear them. That's all I can really say to that.